Waves and scale effects. Waves in the economy are changes in the market and the way markets operate, which result from extremely rapid, and sometimes even abrupt changes in technology, social awareness, knowledge, and scientific achievements, but also the impact of nature on macro scales, pandemics, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes. Such a powerful technological change was the computer as a machine for processing data quickly and in huge quantities, including data transfer technologies, in short, the Internet network. Progress in construction and increasing computing capabilities has resulted in the availability of truly unimaginable possibilities today. Consequent changes in the operation of the market include, for example, a change in the approach to set design, where very often software replaced entire film towns and scenery built for the needs of the film. Then derivatives such as smartphones, robotization, remote access applications, increasing efficiency, replacing employees. Another invention is technical improvements, example, changing the fuel consumption in cars, because the reduction of fuel consumption in the amount of 1 liter per 100 kilometers is small in relation to one vehicle, but as a result of scale, it is millions, hundreds of millions of liters of difference, which has an intensive effect on the global economy. Changes in life and the world around us as a consequence of the flourishing of technology are shocking and extremely dynamic in various places and fields, such as in medical technologies. Of course, these possibilities also result in abrupt changes in other areas, which again affect the next areas and spaces of the reality that surrounds us. Such extraordinary technological leaps can be compared to a stone thrown into the water, from which waves propagate. Their impact is small, and sometimes large, depending on the energy of the wave, but also the frequency of their impact. However, with high wave energy, the changes reach everywhere with great force, e.g. tidal waves. Of course, the effect of a wave depends on its final energy. Many technical inventions had just such a great energy of change. However, social inventions, such as work standards, limiting the number of working hours, holidays, and benefits, which really improved the quality of life of citizens and actually caused the expansion of the economic base of societies, had an equally huge energy of change. The other pole is the inhibiting forces, i.e., opportunism or, for example, indolence of public authorities, popular opinions, or ordinary, sometimes justified and sometimes irrational fear of people, example, employees, often resulting from the way changes are introduced and their consequences for citizens, and sometimes legitimate ethical or environmental considerations. In economics, changes in technology, inventions, have just such an impact on the economy, as do ideas, legal and economic changes, social behavior. Therefore, such a wave of changes affects the environment in every direction, and depending on various circumstances, it affects more or less, faster or slower, but it always disturbs a certain stability of the existing reality of each of us. More or less, this is also where the economic changes in the markets come from, such as various crises, booms, and busts, which in real life have a huge impact on the lives of normal, ordinary citizens, who often have no or little direct control over these changes. However, these changes are not the only ones, because in fact, there are also changes behind which there are deliberate actions of various shades, both negative and positive, and sometimes neutral. Therefore, economic or legal and economic tools should counteract the negative aspects of these changes, and the positive effects of the changes should be made widely available, if possible. At the same time, declaring changes as positive or negative without ethics or broadly understood achievements of humanism and systemic protection of weaker individuals may lead to not the best and undesirable situations. At the same time, it is important to note that these changes should go in the direction of maintaining respect for differences and civil freedom.